In this module, we discuss the three frameworks or theories related to women development or women role in development, which have been seen in operation since the 1970s. So these three frameworks or theories are women in development, women and development, and gender and development. So what is women in development? So in the 1970s, it was clear that, as we discussed in the last module, that women have been excluded from the development process. So what was the solution? The women in development framework said the solution is integrate women in the development framework, in the development projects, in the development processes. So the primary task of the state or the government was to improve women access to resources and their participation in development. So this meant more schooling or health or other issues. There was also a concern about income generating projects. So these different schools and projects which provide skills to women so they can earn their living. So that was another area on which this women in development approach or theory worked. So this theory increased the visibility of women. There was also internationally, so there was UN declared the decade starting from 1975 as the decade of women. There were also many conferences which looked at women rights, but there were limitations of this theory or framework because this theory didn't call into effect the overall structure of the society. So it focused only on development, only on areas, small areas, and didn't look at the overall structure of the society or the global economic system and how it affects women in developing world, even in the developed world. So these were the things which this theory didn't look at. So then in the 80s and 90s, we had a separate or a different approach with women and development. And this was based on Marxist feminist theory. And it called that women should be integrated in the projects, but more focus should be on the overall structure. And this structure, according to this theory, was exploitative, and women and poor and other vulnerable groups are being exploited by the powerful groups, which are men, mostly men, and capitalists. So this called for reducing inequalities, changing the power structure, whether it's in the society in one country or at the global level. So these the focus here was societal and global structures change. The limitation of this approach was that it was primarily economic. It didn't ignore other areas, and it was too big a goal, and it was difficult to achieve them because most of the power was still in the hands of men and powerful men, and the world economic structure cannot be changed easily. Then we have in the early 2000s this gender and development. So now the focus in the previous two frameworks, the focus was only women. In this framework, the focus was both men and women. Both genders are vulnerable in some areas, in some societies. So women are of course more vulnerable, but men are also vulnerable in some societies or some areas. The focus of this approach was family and private sphere, but it's also looked at the triple role of women, meaning thereby their reproductive role, their productive role, and their societal role, which we will discuss in the next module. The gender and development framework called for it recognized that the development process is complex, it's multidimensional, and it is influenced by large number of different factors, whether they are economic, political, or societal. So countries, states, international bodies have to work together to improve the lot of women, and not only women, but both genders. Thank you.